What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by, spending a few minutes of your time here with me today. I wanted to talk to you today about something that is very important to my own trading process. And once you understand this, it will become very important to your trading process as well. This is something that every trader should be aware of, okay? And it's another basic fact of the market, okay? This is something that doesn't change. It's a non-negotiable, all right? No one's going to argue with you about this stuff, okay? So, I like to fish. And if you know anything about fishing, there are certain times of the day when the fish are more active, all right? There are also certain times of the year when the fish are more active, when you are more likely to catch a nice fish, okay? Because when you go fishing, it's not guaranteed that you catch a fish, right? And you don't want to waste all of your time sitting under the blistering hot sun, waiting to catch a fish in these low probability time frames, okay? You want to, if you know this information that there are certain times of the day when the big fish are active, you want to utilize that information and limit your fishing to those times. Because in those windows of time, the probability of you hooking that keeper is significantly increased, all right? Whereas if you go and try to fish right in the middle of the day, in the peak heat of the day, the probability that you're going to catch a big fish is significantly decreased because that fish is going to be out in deep water resting through the heat of the day, okay? And will be more active either early morning hours or late evening hours when they can come up into the shallows and hunt, okay? So the market is no different. There are certain key times of the day where you're more likely to catch a big fish. You understand what I'm trying to say to you? And you want to limit your trading to these specific times, all right? And this is going to immediately afford you certain benefits when it comes to your trading. It's going to offer you immediately some consistency because you're going to be at the charts at the same time every day. You know exactly when you're trading. So you have some consistency. This gives you the ability to schedule your real life around your trading. Okay? When I first started trading, I wasn't aware of this stuff. And so I would try to spend as much time as I could sitting and looking at the charts because I didn't know when I should be looking. So I'm just hoping to get lucky and see it, right? At some point, just hoping to catch something, right? But with this information, I'm able to schedule my real life around my trading. And I don't get that cross interference between my real life and my trading life because I got 4 kids, a full-time job, a wife, pets. You know what I'm saying? I've got a lot of stuff going on. I'm busy. I have to be able to sort of schedule my day. Another thing that this is going to do is if you're struggling with over trading, this can immediately help you get that under control because, again, you're going to be limiting yourself to trading only a select amount of time, a specific block of time of the day. You can only put in so many trades, right? Hopefully, okay? And on that same note, it's also going to limit your exposure to the market. In other words, it's going to limit your risk via exposure, okay? So this can be a part of risk management. It is indeed a part of risk management when it comes to my own thought process when it comes to trading, okay? So you need to be aware of this, these times of the day. Now, the market, right, it's basically open all the time except for a day on the weekend, right? But it's kind of weird. Like, it didn't make any sense to me that my chart started moving on Sunday instead of Monday when I'm looking at my charts that are, you know, of course, synced up to my own local time zone. I couldn't understand. I'm like, wait, why does Monday start on Sunday? Right? Then I figured out that really the first session of the day is the Tokyo session or the Asian session. A lot of traders call it that, right? And Asia trades from, EST. This is Eastern Standard Time, so you'll have to interpret this your own local time zone or whatever, right? But Asia trades 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. So, and that is the first session of the day and of the week. So, because of the time zone differences and where I live, the trading week for me, even though it actually starts on Monday, but according to the charts, it looks like it starts on Sunday, right? So I don't know. It's kind of confusing, right? But Asia starts the week there early, okay? And New York session is actually the last session of the day, which also used to throw me for a loop because I wake up in the morning and trade the New York session. And then to hear that that's the last session of the day and the last session of the week, it's like, whoa, that's the session that ends the day, but it's the first session when I wake up. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't make any sense to me. But you have to start understanding this, okay? That Asia trades 7 a.m. to, 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. London trades 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. and New York trades 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. All right. London and New York have this window where the sessions overlap from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. or 12 noon. All right. London and New York traders are at their trade stations at the same time. Okay. So what this means, like the sessions open. New York opens right at 8 a.m. Really, it's 8:30 a.m. That's the U.S. bond market open, right at 8:30. That's why most of the major red news events that come out of the U.S. drop in this time when the session opens, right? Right at the beginning of the day, right when the professional traders, the institutional traders that are trading, on Wall Street or whatever in these different exchanges for real, like professional traders, they are trading at this time. This is when they get to work, they get to their desk, to their station, and do their thing. You know what I'm saying? They start to conduct business at this time. This is when it starts for New York, right? That's what these sessions are. But that's why the red news events drop like this non-farms payroll. Why does it drop right at 8:30? And why do most of the major red news events that come out of the U.S. drop perfectly aligning themselves with the New York Open? You know what I mean? Because the big guys are just getting in and they're going to take advantage of this. This is how they're arranging their positions, figuring out what they're going to be doing, right? This is where they make their money. This is where the big fish are at. And I know we're talking about 8:30 to 5 p.m. for New York, but really what we're focused on is only the first few hours of the session. All right? There are different traders that talk about this. Like, I think ICT calls these kill zones, right? Stacy Burke calls them session, I don't know what he calls them. He calls them a lot of different things, but it's just a session window, okay? He calls it a session window. And that session window is only the first initial 3 hours of each session. So whether you're trading London, whether you're trading New York, whatever, right? Me, because it's convenient for me in my life, I trade the New York session. All right, so you have to choose, and figure out which one of these sessions are convenient for you and your life circumstance and trade that, trade only that, all right? And you just have to go back and look at your charts to figure out why. But I'll give it to you in a simple way, all right? In these session windows, you will see price spikes, volume spikes. This is where you're going to see trades, actual trades, nice trades, institutionally sponsored trades on the day. They're going to happen at these key times, if they're going to happen, most likely, okay? And that is just how it is. And because of this, and I learned this specifically from Stacy Burke, all right, not all of it, but this specific fact that I'm about to tell you, that 80% of the time, if you go back and look at your charts, right, or look at this one that I have up for you, the high of the day and the low of the day, okay, are going to be put in place 70, 80% of the time in a session window, all right? And you can see, like this chart that we're looking at right now, on that first day, the low of the day is put in place going into the London Open. And then the second day, the day on the right-hand side of your screen, the high of the day is put in place going into the London Open. And this is something that you can expect more times than not, for the high of the day and the low of the day to be put in place in a session opening window or kill zone or fucking opportune time, it's just it's just the time of day, right? And this is an indicator that's on this chart. I don't have this on my charts. I have this on there now for your sake so you can see what I'm talking about, right? But I know what time it is. I can tell time. I just pay attention to the clock and I know when the sessions are trading, all right? So you can expect the high of the day or the low of the day to take place in a session window. You can also expect the high of the week and the low of the week to be put in place in a session window. Okay, I learned that from Stacy Burke. Now check this out. If you've gone in and you've done your homework on your higher time frames, right? And you've come up with a directional bias for the week. Let's say you're bullish. That means, based on the information we've discussed on the channel, you are expecting by Friday's close a higher close than the open on Monday. So if you know that that's what you're expecting, and you know that there's a high probability that the high or the low of the week is going to be put in place in one of these session windows, and you're keeping track of time, right? There's only so many days for price to complete this action of giving that higher close by Friday. So you need to see certain things occur on the week in order for that to happen. It's just like when we talked about the dog, profiling the dog. This is how we're profiling the market. We're expecting a bullish template, right? So we need to see the low of the week put in place somewhere between Monday and Wednesday, probably, right? Monday's Asian session to Wednesday's New York session, you're expecting the low of the week to be put in place because there's not that much time left in the week. If price is going to turn back bullish and give that higher close, we need the low of the week to be put in place, and we need it to start trading higher, because we know that most of the time, right, it's not going to be a single day or a single session rather that's going to just blast off. And it could be, but generally it'll be broken up. That move would be broken up between 2 sessions or 2 days. So you might have something like this. So we have the week and we're thinking bullish, right? Then Monday trades and it goes lower. Okay, Monday trades lower. Tuesday trades lower again. And then on Wednesday, we trade lower again. These are all lower closes. And then on Thursday, we get a higher close after 3 days of down moves, right? But we are expecting a bullish close, a higher close than the open. So we need to get up there pretty quick. If we're going to do it, we need to start doing it. If it keeps going lower around here, the trade is probably invalid. Cancel it out, right? And then we get Friday that comes. And you can see maybe it trades back into the low of the day in London. The low of the day from Thursday, right on Friday in London, it trades back into that level, not all the way down, just back into it before trading up and then continuing in the New York session, right? And this is sort of like you'll be waiting for this to happen, okay, if you're expecting a bullish close on the week. Okay, and this is just one variation. They can look crazy, right? They're not always going to be picture perfect and pretty, you know what I mean, cookie cutter things, but that's what I'm looking for. I'm not really interested in trading it if it doesn't look easy to me, all right? And this is kind of the thing I've learned to recognize over time, looking at certain things, the things that I've been telling you about, all right? And I hope that this helps you understand what I'm saying a little bit better, right? But anyway, man, until next time, I hope you continue to free your mind.